Taking a live look outside the station this morning, a bit of a quiet start over downtown Denver as we look. A big turnaround from what we saw last night, what we heard last night, everyone except Corey Rose apparently.
Oh, how did this happen? All right, here's how things were looking outside of the station last night. Yeah, you could see all the lightning and the rain coming down, so I guess it did happen. I just don't even know. We got reports of flooding in some areas. Before we get over to Ed with more on that storm or what we can expect today, Erica Lopez has been tracking all you need to know about your morning commute. Did you wake up?
No, ma'am. I am with you 100% of the way.
I need to have what y'all are having because I woke up for sure, and I know Ed said he woke up too.
It's children.
No, I woke up this morning and Antonio was like, "You were sound asleep. I was watching the storm. I don't know how anyone could sleep through that." I was like, "I don't know."
Thank you. Missed it entirely.
Yeah. So apparently too, last night there were some interstate closures. Thankfully, everything back open and moving. Right now we're looking at I-70 in Wadsworth, where I do want to point out I'm still seeing some flashing lights here on the westbound side. Might just be somebody pulled over or a stalled vehicle happening. No reports of a crash through this area. Doesn't look like it's impacting traffic flow. And like I said, things are back open and moving. However, Wheat Ridge police have tweeted out that although things are back open through that area, there's still standing water throughout the city. So just be careful as you drive this morning, especially when it's still dark out there and early. As far as your drive into Commerce City goes at this hour, we're in very good shape. That westbound 76 drive-in from E470 will only take you 11 minutes, and we're clear as well on both sides of 270. Your drive right now between I-70 and I-25 on that westbound side will only take you 5 minutes.
And Erica, thank you very much. Hey, we have found a very interesting thing. There is something called a cone of silence, and it was over Erica's house and Corey's house last night. They heard nothing. So you can see we do have some high clouds around here. That's what we're seeing today. 62 degrees. Those clouds will produce showers and thunderstorms a little bit later on. Here are the showers and thunderstorms. I don't know how you missed those, but take a look at them once again. There's a lot of lightning with those storms and a lot of heavy thunder, and now they're all down to the southeast and moving out of the state. But yes, they'll be back again this afternoon and pretty much in the same areas. Then for tonight, here's a couple of showers and thunderstorms once again. We'll give Corey and Erica another chance to wake up in the middle of the night and hear those storms. And then for tomorrow, scattered showers and storms over the state, some with heavy rains once again. We do have a flash flood watch. Look at all over the southwest here due to that monsoon moisture flow. Goes right into southwestern Colorado. It goes from noon till midnight today. Heavy rains could cause some flooding. 89 degrees in Denver today, but tomorrow only 77 degrees. Will be 79 on your Friday. Chance for scattered showers and storms. And then on Saturday, start to warm it up, dry it out a bit, 85 degrees.
You know, Ed, it makes me slightly concerned that I slept so deep because I have children in my house. Like, I shouldn't be sleeping that deep. All right, well, tonight's my night, apparently. Thank you, Ed. Last night, the Jefferson County Public Schools Board of Education laid out their timeline for deciding which schools to consolidate and close to tackle declining enrollment. The board was given data for how enrollment is looking. It said Jeffco saw the largest decline in student population in the state, losing more than 5,000 students just between 2019 and 2022, with a total of 27,000 seats empty. The presentation showed how the superintendent will prioritize schools for closure. One is urgent priority, meaning if nothing is done about the school by November, it could abruptly close in spring of 2023. The other is high priority one-runway partnerships, which means if it's not consolidated, it risks closing down in 1 to 2 years. Some board members question why that they wouldn't have community feedback after the superintendent recommends potential closures. The superintendent, Tracy Dorland, said the situation is to a point where they've just run out of time and they have to move fast.
And I believe that the right approach for now, especially for our urgent priority schools, is to just be clear and follow it with kindness and support.
Here is the timeline they presented on Tuesday. On August 25th, the superintendent will recommend the schools for consolidation. Then feedback from the community happens in September and October. Final public hearings will happen late October, and the board will give a final vote on which schools to close November 10th.
We are now learning some new details about a deadly shooting involving Inglewood police officers on Sunday. One man is under arrest facing attempted murder charges after officers say he shot at them. His brother is dead. Inglewood police won't say if their officers killed him. An arrest affidavit for Philip Blankenship shows he told officers his brother Matthew Mitchell did not shoot at police. Blankenship told detectives he was considering suicide on Sunday. The affidavit says his mom called 911. Inglewood police showed up and told Blankenship to come outside. The affidavit says officers heard someone say, "Give me a minute." Then they say Blankenship fired one shot through the living room window, hitting the windshield of a patrol car. The affidavit says another officer started taking fire from the house, which is when they started shooting back. Mitchell was inside the house and died from a gunshot. Inglewood police will not tell us how many officers fired or whether they knew Mitchell was inside the house when they started shooting. They also won't answer questions, citing the inactive investigation.
The Denver DA doesn't have a timeline yet for when they'll decide if officers were justified in opening fire in lower downtown last weekend. They say they're still waiting for a lab and forensic test results. Jordan Waddy is scheduled to be back in court next month. He is the man DPD says officers shot at after he pulled out a gun as bars were letting out more than a week ago. 6 bystanders were also hit. He had his first court appearance yesterday and a judge set his bond to $10,000. He is still in the hospital. Waddy has hired civil rights attorney Tyrone Glover. Glover put out a statement Tuesday saying the officers' actions were, quote, extremely reckless, and Waddy's demanding answers. Police departments across the state are struggling to hire officers. Aurora Police now talking about loosening their hiring standards. 9 News reporter Kelly Grinke takes a look at the change as the department tries to fill dozens of open positions.
We need to make every effort to try to find ways to improve the staffing, improve hiring, and improve recruiting.
The Aurora Police Department is getting creative to fix a problem it's been facing for 2 years. Many experienced cops are leaving the job, and not enough people are submitting applications to fill their positions.
Our patrol officers, which day in and day out, day and night, responding to calls, are doing it at a reduced staffing level.
Division Chief Chris Jewell says the department is down 70 officers. Staffing levels are so critical, the city is now broadening the requirements for a lateral hire, someone who leaves one agency for another.
The rule was that they had to have 3 years of specific law enforcement experience, and we asked that they change that back to related experience.
Now an applicant only needs 1 year of police experience, and the other 2 years can be something else, like experience from military police or corrections.
We know that we need to be a little bit more creative on how we look at potential officers, and other agencies do have a lesser requirement in some cases.
More than 40 officers have left the department since January, which is an improvement from this time last year. But being down dozens of officers impacts how long it takes to respond to less serious calls.
Don't think it's any shock to anybody that some of the more violent crimes and serious crimes have risen somewhat, and those types of calls do take more officers to handle and take additional time to handle as well.
Officers are working overtime, and Chief Jewell hopes the change can help the department out.
It will absolutely broaden the pool, so I'm looking for an increase there, but it's yet to be seen exactly what that's going to look like.
Now, around half of the officers who have left the department this year resigned. Others retired or went on medical leave. 2 officers were fired. To encourage people to leave their current policing job and move to Aurora, the city is also offering a bonus of up to $15,000.
Well, most of your Tabor refund goes into the mail next month. Now, normally you would get it the year when you do your taxes, but Colorado Democrats and a few Republicans moved those refunds up ahead of Election Day. For people who earn up to $47,000, you will get $851 total. $750 will be in a direct check, and you will get it in the next 2 months. The other $101 will be a credit on your state taxes next year. That's $211 more than you actually would have gotten if the state did not do the direct checks. People who made $47,000 to $95,000 will get $885, and that's $32 more than you'd have without that direct check. Now, once you hit income above $95,000, those taxpayers will get less money than you would have usually.
Having the refund mechanism be more equitable, less regressive, is a good outcome for this year.
Republican Senator Bob Rankin told us he would rather see the state reduce the income tax.